Yeah, baby. How you doing, man? How about a big old effing cup of this morning? God, how come on weekends, man, I feel like I'm getting so much relaxation, but I'm so damn tired on Monday? I don't know. All right, hope you had a great weekend. Lots going on here on Tony Kurre Radio on the TKR app. Super easy. We had, I don't know, like 1,000 downloads over the weekend, and people are like, dude, it's so easy. It took like 5 or 10 seconds. I was out cutting grass for like 16 hours yesterday. I didn't get tired. I was like, I know, right? It's great music, great classic rock and roll. We got some really cool special promotions coming up very, very soon. I know the Eagles are coming to town. We got the Doobies coming to town. We'll get into that a little bit later on as we get a little closer. But of course, all of our shows, we have 13 different shows. And they are all now playing 5 days a week. Mission Minded with Michael Coleman, that runs every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Adapter Parish, 12 noon. The Damon Johnson Show, he's all over the place on Twitter right now. Of course, he's doing the Leonard Skinner thing, Brother Kane thing coming up as well. 3 o'clock, When in Rome with Stuart Rome. We did Yacht Rock songs last week. We'll do that all this week. When in Rome, 5 p.m. with Stuart Rome, the Woodhouse Day Spa, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Need to Know with Kip Keefer, our newest show. I love this show. Kip's like, so what kind of show you want to do? He's like, I don't know, just let me talk for 30 minutes. So I'm like, okay. So he gets into politics, he gets into sports, he does it all. Need to Know with Kip Keefer runs at 6 o'clock every Monday through Friday. He'll also have a brand new show starting on August 26th, which will be a visual show. You can hear it here on Tony Kurre Radio, also see it on our podcast platform called Wanna Bet, just in time for college and professional football season. Dark Side the Pooch. Went and saw Dr. Rab on Friday. My dog got an intestinal parasite. It'll be fine. Dark Side of the Pooch, 7 o'clock every Monday through Friday. Austin Hanks, 8 o'clock. Blues Almighty. And then, of course, we do Live Wire Wednesday, brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs. 205-682-2828. 205-682-2828. We'll get after it coming up here with Live Wire Wednesday again on Wednesday for a live show. Brandon Austin Morris, good morning to you, my friend. Great to have you on. A couple things kind of tickled my fancy today. 53 years ago, right now, Woodstock started. Yasgur's Farm, 1969. And it really was for rock and rollers. And in 1969, I was 3 years old, so it was a little before my time. But I am well versed in the fact that that festival, that concert event really changed everything in rock and roll. It did. Without Woodstock, I'm not sure where we'd be at. And so I always like to go back and look at the event, how it happened, and I'm always amazed by the artists that played for this thing. First of all, when they put this thing together, no one signed up. No one wanted to play it. They thought it was going to be 50, 60,000 people. Turned out to be 500,000. 3 people died. There were 2 births. There were 4 miscarriages. I don't know where those numbers came from, but that's what it says on the website, so it's going to be true. And so I'm like, how in the world this goes? So the first major band to sign up was CCR. And once CCR signed up, everyone else signed up. So on the first day, which was 53 years ago today, Arlo Guthrie and Joan Baez were the big acts. Okay, it's Friday night. Then on Saturday, these are in order. Can you imagine watching these bands in order? If you're my age, you're blown away. Santana, Canned Heat, Mountain, Grateful Dead, CCR, Janis Joplin, Sly and the Family Stone, The Who, and Jefferson Airplane. That was your lineup for Saturday. There wasn't like, Hooch and the Gunners or some weird-ass band. I mean, it was just one after another, boom, 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 boom. Then Sunday, the third day of the festival, this is amazing to me. Joe Cocker took stage at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, you remember when we did city stages and all these things, usually you got like noon to 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoons or smaller bands. Joe Cocker was flipping 2 o'clock. 10 years after, then played at 8:15 that night. The band went on at 10. Johnny Winter started his set at midnight. This is Sunday. Blood, Sweat, and Tears went off at 1:30 in the morning. Crosby, Stills, and Nash played from 3 to 4:15 a.m. And then, of course, Jimi Hendrix, which, of course, everyone remembers Jimi Hendrix doing the Star Spangled Banner and what he did, and that set the trajectory of his career just shut up. He played at 9 o'clock in the morning. Whenever you see those videos of him doing the Star Spangled Banner, that's 9 o'clock in the morning. They played all night long. Could you imagine Joe Cocker 10 years after the band, Johnny Winter, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Jimi Hendrix, one after another, and it goes all night long? I love that. Something to think about. So I was watching some show. I couldn't sleep late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And I got up around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I saw one of these infomercials for Skims, and it wasn't the Kim Kardashian Skims. It was some ripoff of someone else. Everyone's doing Skims now, right? So I had laser liposurgery like 15 years ago. Dr. Marie Mickey was one of our big sponsors. She was going to do it for free. I would have never paid for it because I couldn't afford it. It was like $6,000 of the stuff, and I had a little pooch and had a little muffin top, and so I had it. And it was great. It was life-changing. I lost like 11 or 12 pounds, wasn't trying to, but it sucked the fat out. It burns it off. It sucks it out. It's gone. It's great. And I know there's cool sculpting and all these other things, but it's expensive, but it's super cool. I know Dr. Josh has had it done too. And so after the procedure, I had to wear a girdle. Margaret Bailey, good morning to you, hon. Can't wait to see you. I had a girdle on. I put a girdle on, and you make it as tight as you possibly can, and it wraps around your waist. And basically what it does is it coagulates or helps coagulate the gelling and everything go on, slosh around your insides because you had a couple of incisions and stuff like that, and it holds it together. And I got really comfortable wearing that thing, not only because I was losing weight, but because it made me look good. So I understand the Skims thing, man. But now they have Skims from basically all the way up to your neck. I mean, if you got like a wiggly neck, you can wear like a turtleneck Skim. It's crazy. You look like a giant ass turtle with foreskin around your neck. It's crazy, right? So they got these Skims, and here's my problem. And I still have my girdle, and I put it on sometimes, and it feels really good because it does. It just sucks in. It just takes, my muffin tops came back just a little bit. And so women, I'm assuming more women than guys wear these Skims, are wearing these Skims, and they look really, really good with your clothes on. So rather than go out and lose the 10 or 15, 30 pounds you need to lose because we're morbidly obese in this country, people are wearing Skims, and it makes them feel better. And that's great. I got no problem with it. I'm not too vain. I'm not breast augmentation, Botox in the eyes, whatever you want to do to make yourself, color your hair, whatever you got to do to make yourself look better. But the Skim thing, here's the difference. If you're trying to look good, you're trying to do it for a man or a woman, depending on who's wearing the Skim. And in a dating process, you get to know someone, you're trying to make that engagement, you're trying to make that connection, and then eventually your clothes come off, right? So eventually, isn't it kind of like throwing like a really good profile picture of you out on Tinder when it ain't really look like you anymore? Like if you're sending out pictures like 5 or 6 years ago, ooh, that's a really good picture. It's got the right side, and the sun was certain, and all of a sudden they see you and they're kind of like, wow, you look totally different than you did on your Facebook page. So I'm just wondering if anybody's out there watching right now, or you want to go to info@tonykurreradio.net, you can email me. Have you ever been in a situation where you got it all packed in? It's almost like women wearing a push-up bra. Makes your boobs look bigger. It's great. I love that. But eventually, if you are bringing in a guy who's attracted by what he sees, because we're visual animals and we're super excited about that, and then all of a sudden you take your clothes off and everything just goes falls on the floor, and you're like, what the hell happened there, Humpty Dumpty? Put it back together again. What is that really getting you? Unless you're never planning on taking your clothes off, I guess you could wear Skims. But I mean, about 3 or 4 months into the date, he's going to have his arm around you. He's going to be saying, wow, he's telling his buddy she feels really good. She's got a muffin top and boobs look good and blah, blah, blah. Well, eventually, he's going to be attracted to the point where he wants to see you with no clothes on, because that's kind of a step in dating, right? And next thing you know, he's going to see the real deal. Or maybe people are just wearing Skims until they can lose the weight. I don't know the whole thing. If you're married and your husband or your girlfriend already knows, your wife already knows what you look like naked, and you want to wear Skims just because it makes you look better, that's fine. I get that. But if you're wearing Skims to go out and look better than you actually are in front of strangers who you're trying to attract, eventually they're going to want to see you naked, and you're going to have to pay the piper. It's going to happen. Something to think about. Just lose the weight, man. Also, a great story. I want to get into this with Dr. Josh on Thursday, the Kurre and Claypo show on Thursday morning. We do it right here on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock. We'll also be on Fox 6 at 9:30 on the Thursday as well. So I always think it's really funny when someone finds out that their mate is cheating and how they handle it. I have only been in one relationship where I knew my mate cheated on me. It was well after it, and at that point, it really didn't matter. But I know that, and I know that men and women cheat. I get that. But sometimes people just go wacko when they know their mate cheated. So this woman took out a full page ad. I believe it was in Queensland. And she wrote, "Dear Steve, I hope you're happy with her. Now the whole town will know what a filthy cheater you are. From Jenny. P.S. I bought the ad using your credit card. And I always wonder to myself, are you kind of stooping down to their level a little bit by going after somebody? Listen, I've been in a situation where I've had rocks thrown at me, my clothes thrown out the second story window, the whole 9 yards. I've been there, done that, and I get that. But for someone to actually take time to fill out a newspaper ad and spend money on an ad to make someone look bad, I just wonder how that paints you. If I found out someone was cheating on me, I'd get upset, I'd get super angry, particularly if I was in love with them and I thought they were being faithful to me and I was trusting them, this, that, and the other, then it would bum me out. But would I take some action by taking a full-page ad, or would I be calling all of her friends or all of her boyfriends or her mom and dad and telling her what a filthy cheater she is? That tells me you got issues. First of all, you got duped. Most people that would take out a full-page ad knew that he was cheating, but just said, no, my friends are telling me, the signs are there, but I'm just going to blindly trust this person and go with faith and trust him. And sometimes we got to be smarter. We got to be smarter. I always tell you, 95% of the time, your gut's right. If something just doesn't seem right, he's showing up late, she's having to work late, he's joining a gym at 3 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, he's got a new bowling night. She's got a new sips and strokes night, and she's coming home, and things are just kind of weird, or she's wanting to try new things in the bedroom, or he's getting his teeth whitened. There's all these red flags that happen, right? Depending on where you are in your relationship, whether you're married or not, it doesn't matter. And so I think it's really, so someone's willing to take out a full-page ad. What does that say about you? Because that makes me think she's a freak. I mean, he messed up. And once a cheater, always a cheater. Not necessarily true. We'll talk about that coming up on Thursday, hopefully on Fox 6, and certainly with Dr. Josh Claypool. I want to get some psychology behind this. Speaking of psychology, there's no psychology when it comes to buying a car. I normally don't do this on my morning show, talk about clients, but I only talk about my clients when I really believe in them, because it's the only clients I have, whether it's John Gray, whether it's Woodhouse Day Spa, whether it's Chris Doris, State Farm Team, Southern Precision Staffing. Budweiser is one of my big clients. I love talking about Budweiser. Adaptogent, a wonderful organization out of Atlanta with Adaptive Parish, the Jimmy Hill Mission, the Montgomery Food Bank. Every client I have, I truly believe in, and I want to use their services. So when it came to Coosa Valley Auto, and Al Cooper was watching me here on Facebook one morning. He's like, dude, look me up, come to Silicaga, let me show you what I do. And I'm blessed enough that I kind of get to pick who I want to talk about on my radio show. It's not always about the money, but I want to make sure that if I'm talking about it, it paints my light well. I want you to make sure, Buddy Little, good morning to you. I want to make sure that if you go up there and you have a great experience. So I went up there, and this dude talked for like an hour straight. He was so passionate about what he was doing. It's a customer co-op situation. Anytime they have somewhere between, say, 25 and maybe up to 50 cars, I know they're going through one of their best months they've ever had, and I'd like to think that maybe it's something to do with being on Tony Kurre Radio, which is a great thing. But Brad, Shane, Dakota, Jeremiah, Al, David, Brad, all of them up there do a fantastic job. And it's really grassroots, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's the word of mouth thing, and certainly on Tony Kurre Radio, where Coosa Valley Auto is getting after it. They are fantastic. So I'm going to go buy a car up there in the next couple of weeks. I'm selling my house. Once I get everything settled down a little bit, I'm going to go out and trade in my Odyssey and get me a brand new vehicle up there. The used car is the way to go right now, because as soon as you buy a new car and it goes off the lot, you're losing 15 to 20% of your equity in your thing. And Al's watching right now. His number is 256-267-0296, 256-267-0296. He opens up around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he answers every single phone call. CoosaValleyAutoSale.com, CoosaValleyAutoSale.com. Go to their website. It's upgraded pretty much continuously. And if you see a picture of a car and it's not, the car is just red, then you know that the picture's not up or it's already sold, because almost every car they have at Coosa Valley Auto stays in the lot for like 2 or 3 days and it's gone. The great thing is, they call them Easter eggs. Every morning they show up, there's like 5 or 6 more Easter eggs in the front lawn, and they're getting through it, man. So they got great deals, and again, it's a customer co-op. He'll tell you exactly what he paid for it, what he's willing to give you for it, your trade-in, everything. It's fantastic. Check out Coosa Valley Auto, one of my proud new sponsors here on Tony Kurre Radio. I want to thank the Birmingham Race Course, too. The Kip Keefer Show, which he's got the Need to Know show that runs every single Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock. He's got this Want to Bet show coming up for you guys out there that like to, for entertainment purposes only, might to like make a little cheese during your football season, add a little extra excitement for your fantasy league. Want to Bet's going to be the show for you, and it's going to be one of our first shows. It's actually going to be visual. So you can listen to all these shows, first run shows, all the music shows, everything live on the TKR app. Download the TKR app. It's super easy. Just look up TKR, Android or Apple. And then if you miss any of the shows, go to wherever you get your favorite podcast. We're on every major subscription of podcast. Now, if you're looking for the music programs like Austin Hanks, or Blues Almighty, or The Damon Johnson Show, or When in Rome, then you need to go to Spotify because it's the only podcast platform that has music in it. And that's a really cool thing. And we're one of the only radio stations in the country that has musical podcast. It's fantastic. It's great. Just listen to one of the shows. It's great. So if you're on Spotify, you got to subscribe. You can listen to it. You can't listen to little clips. But if you want to hear all the music, come listen to TKR. I give it to you 5 days a week. It's free. Tim McGee Sr. But check out all of our podcasts and check out the TKR app, and you'll be doing me a huge favor, and you'll thank me for it. Yacht Rock weekends are coming up here in a couple of weeks. We have a brand new show called Wide Awake Wake that we're going to be doing, and also LPOD, which will be starting next week. We're super excited about that as well. I hope you have a fantastic week. Get after it, man. We'll catch up again tomorrow morning. Make sure you listen to TKR 24 hours a day. I love you.